on this phone is amazing, but holding it for hours can be a challenge. So here's the big question. What does an affordable foldable actually look like for younger users? Today, we're taking a close look at the Huawei Pura X Max.
Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content.
Huawei isn't calling this a simple Pura X successor. It's basically a new product. And after using it, I understand why. From the build and larger outer display to the cameras, crease, screen quality, and software, this wide-format foldable feels completely reinvented. Honestly, if my budget allowed it, I'd consider this my main non-iPhone phone. But there's a catch. These upgrades make the original Pura X feel outdated almost instantly. So if you're considering the X Max as your daily driver, stay until the end for the drawbacks. Let's start with the design. Huawei offers 5 colors: vibrant layer, olive gold, wilderness black, interstellar blue, and 0-degree white. My favorites are interstellar blue and vibrant layer. The blue looks incredible, but it's sold out quickly, so I went with vibrant layer, and honestly, it looks fantastic in person. Seeing the sales, I sometimes wonder if smartphone prices are really scaring people. Everyone complains about expensive phones, yet many versions of this device keep selling out. The rear uses a single piece of glass with 3 textured sections underneath. Each section reflects light differently as you move the phone. Even the transition into the camera housing is impressively smooth. The camera module uses a horizontal capsule design with decorative rings around the 3 lenses. Personally, I think an all-black design would look cleaner. The lenses also aren't perfectly aligned, which perfectionists may notice. Still, the phone looks excellent whether you're holding it or leaving it on a desk. Now let's talk about the displays, because this is where Huawei made some huge changes. The original X placed its tiny 3.5-inch outer display beside the camera module. It wasn't really designed as a full external screen. Huawei even marketed it more like a smart companion display. In real use, you often had to unfold the phone just to do basic things. The X Max completely changes that. Huawei moved the outer display to the opposite side and increased it to 5.5 inches, covering almost the entire back. And the difference is massive. Taking photos, changing settings, focusing, zooming, and reviewing shots are now genuinely convenient. It's protected by second-generation Kunlun glass, which improves everyday resistance to slips and drops. But remember, serious impacts can still damage the flexible UTG panel and potentially cause screen leakage. The inner display has also jumped to 7.7 inches, around 1.5 inches larger than the original. Many new foldables are now using liquid glass display technology. The softer panel allows a wider folding angle and helps reduce the crease. Oppo's Find N6 uses a similar approach. The result is a less visible crease and a softer touch experience. But there are compromises. Repairs can cost more, the softer screen may feel slightly less stable visually, and hard impacts can increase the risk of liquid leakage. Personally, I'd still choose the shallower crease. At this price, user experience matters more. The unfolded 7.7-inch format is fantastic for videos, comics, and novels. Photos in a 4:3 ratio almost fill the entire screen, creating a much more immersive view. Even rotated images remain larger than on a normal smartphone. Display quality is another major highlight. Colors are surprisingly close to an iPhone Pro. That's rare because many Android flagships still struggle to match Apple's color accuracy side by side. Now let's talk about reading novels and comics. Huawei includes a dedicated ebook mode, although I actually see it as one of the phone's weaknesses. I'll explain why later. When unfolded, the display is roughly the size of an A5 sheet or a folded A4 page. It's slightly smaller than a typical book, but very comfortable for reading. Huawei also places the front camera in the corner, keeping it out of the way. Despite weighing 229 grams, the phone doesn't feel too heavy during long reading sessions. Novels and comics are comfortable to read for extended periods. But if you're mainly watching movies for hours, I'd still pick a tablet. The bigger screen and traditional hard display simply offer a better entertainment experience. With the design and displays covered, let's move on to camera performance. The Pura X Max packs a 50-megapixel main camera, 50-megapixel periscope telephoto, and 12-megapixel ultra-wide, backed by Huawei's second-gen Hongfeng imaging system. Huawei is already known for strong image quality, but here's the surprise. Compared with the previous model's 40-megapixel ultra-wide macro camera, this 10,000 yuan phone now uses just 12 megapixels. On paper, that's a downgrade. Now let's compare it with the iPhone 17 Pro. Huawei still does color tuning extremely well. Photos look vibrant and attractive without losing too much accuracy. Brightness and saturation are slightly boosted, giving images a style almost like a Japanese animated film. And despite the modest ultra-wide specs, Huawei's processing is impressive. The final results aren't far behind the iPhone, which honestly surprised me. But there's one weakness. On cloudy days, the camera doesn't really capture that gloomy atmosphere. Photos look brighter and happier than the actual scene. For video, there are some limitations. Movie mode doesn't support 4K, and the processing still needs work. Turn on ambient lighting, and sharpness drops noticeably. Still, for family videos, everyday recording, or casual content, it's more than good enough. Even without advanced stabilization, handheld footage stays surprisingly stable. But if you're serious about professional video, the iPhone is still a major option. So far, we've covered the design, build, displays, crease, and cameras, and honestly, each area performs very well. But now comes the important part, the drawbacks. The first is the size and folding design. One-handed use is difficult, and even two-handed use can feel awkward. Whether you're holding it vertically or horizontally, the grip isn't truly comfortable. And if a phone isn't comfortable to hold, using it as your main device becomes difficult. You could use it as a secondary phone for videos, comics, or stock checking, but then comes the price. Spending over 10,000 yuan on a secondary device isn't easy. And if you're buying a backup device this large, why not get an iPad mini? Yes, it doesn't fold and takes more space, but a secondary device is probably going into a bag anyway. Few people will casually carry a 10,000 yuan foldable in their pocket. Honestly, Huawei could have kept this size, removed the folding mechanism, and sold it cheaper. The design is already refined, and this form factor works surprisingly well for compact entertainment. If Huawei added more AI features and brought the price down to around 2,000 yuan, it could potentially recreate the sales success of the Huawei 90 Pro Max. At that price, younger buyers might finally be interested. Huawei says foldables should be accessible to young people, but when I went to buy this phone, most people in line were older customers. So here's the question: is Huawei overestimating the product's appeal, or how much young people want to spend? The second weakness is display brightness. The screen itself looks excellent, but outdoor visibility isn't strong enough. The footage you're seeing was shot on a cloudy day with zero direct sunlight, yet brightness was only acceptable. Under strong sunlight, using the screen becomes much harder. The third issue is gaming. If Huawei wants younger users, gaming performance matters. So instead of listening to Kirin 9030 Pro marketing, let's test it with Valorant. At smooth graphics settings, there's no 120 FPS option. Ultra high actually means just 60 FPS. And even in the first match, before serious heat buildup, I noticed frame drops. The frame rate could sit around 70 FPS and suddenly fall into the 40s. I think this is more about software optimization and compatibility than raw hardware power. The fourth issue is software compatibility beyond gaming. Remember the ebook mode? Activating it turns the entire phone screen black and white instead of applying it only to reading apps. We've seen this problem with concept devices before.
Manufacturers introduce exciting ideas, but if sales disappoint, software support can slowly disappear. Xiaomi's compact foldables are a good example. Fortunately, Huawei's latest foldable sales look strong, so I don't expect the same thing to happen here. So, what's the final verdict? If you want a foldable as your main HarmonyOS phone, I'd actually choose the Mate X6 series. It offers a higher screen-to-body ratio and can often be found cheaper through sales channels. There's another concern: resale value. These drawbacks could hurt the value of this wide-format foldable, just like we've seen with the original extended folding X series. For the second-hand market, though, it really depends on your needs. If you're simply curious about the extended foldable concept and don't need it as your main phone, I'd wait and buy it used. But if you're already using something like a Mate 80 or Pura 90 as your main HarmonyOS phone and want a second device specifically for reading and entertainment, the Pura X Max makes much more sense. It's compact, has better crease control, and delivers a unique experience that can be genuinely satisfying. And that's it for today's review. I hope this helped if you're considering the Pura X Max. What should I review next? Drop your suggestions in the comments. Thanks for watching, love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!